Okay, everybody, you're welcome. Um, this is something I want us to do, which I am not doing it out of guesswork, and I'm doing it from the place of experience. For the first time last year, I intentionally selected 6 of my mentees who have never made £1,000,000, saved, but still living their life. And yes, some are able to make millions working with me from their business and all of that, but I want to do it more structured, especially for those who have never made their first 1 million. And one thing I've learned is that when you're able to make your first 1 million, it becomes easy for you to make 10 million and more money because you have mastered the art, you have grown, you have broken the spell, should I say that? Say it so. And as I said earlier, this particular group, people are in this particular group, there's no pampering. I'm not going to pamper you. I'm not going to run after you. What happens is you don't meet up, you leave the group simple. There are no two things about this, okay? Unlike in the mentorship, I can run and check on you. Oh, why are you not submitting this? Are you okay? Are you all of that? Yes. If you are not okay, let me know. Talk to me. It's okay. You're not fine. That's different. Okay. So I'm saying that up front so you know that there's not going to be any excuses. And don't give me excuses. Give me data. Not very carefully. Give me data. Even if you are failing, fail and give me data that you failed. Give me data that you did your best and you failed. That's different. And that is that when you fail doing the right thing, the money always accumulates and comes to you the next time. Okay, good. And again, it's going to be a lot about data and numbers. That's the only way that you're going to make up or be able to make your first 1 million francs. And I clearly indicated that I need people who have something they're doing at least for a year and above. Okay, I'm not looking for those who just have those ideas. Those who already have the ideas, they have proven in the market already, and they just need a structure that can enable them to be able to produce the results that they're looking at. And I would like us to do a couple of background stuff as we proceed. So I would like us to ascertain some answers. These are going to be personalized answers because we all live in different places, live life differently and all of that. We have to ascertain a couple of things. And there is a place, there's something I always encourage in terms of, there are 2 ways that you can be able to experience financial success or financial balance. You can either live below your means or you increase your income. You maintain your living standard and you increase your income. Those are the 2 major ways. You can decide and withdraw from some things, stop spending money on some things, so you can be able to save money and do some other things you want to do in the future, or you maintain your living standard and you work hard and increase your sources of income. And it's always better to have more sources of income than reducing your living standard. But if you think that if you don't have an immediate source of income, the next option would be reduce the living standard, keep seeking ways to increase your income, or increase it before you are able to increase your living standard. I was sharing with you guys a story one time. One of my mentees called me one time and said, so I want to move to a studio, to a 2-room house. He lives in a 1-room house. So my next immediate question was, oh, did they increase your salary at work? Or did you start a new business? He said, no. So I was asking him, what is the equation? How do you increase your income? How do you increase your living expenses when you have not increased your income? It doesn't add up, really. It doesn't add up. That's how people grow into poverty. One of the fastest ways to go into poverty is when responsibilities are increasing without a corresponding increase in your monthly income or without an additional source of income. You're only going to grow into poverty and you're going to remain very broke. You get a point? So, and that's the same thing that I want you guys to pick up throughout this year. Be very conscious about increasing responsibility. When there's a new increase in your responsibility, you have to work hard to see how you can increase your source of income. So I want us to work on a couple of calculations and ask different things. The first thing I want us to calculate is your basic monthly living expenses. On average, how much do you need every month to cover your basic living? So when I say basic living, I'm talking about shelter, that's your rent. For those who are living with their parents, it's an additional advantage for you here. For those who are already renting, start with your rent, right? Write it down. Give me your total. When you're done, you send it to me privately in the chat box, in the, how do they call it again? In the Zoom chat box privately. So calculate your basic expense, that is your rent, those who are renting, your feeding, how much do you spend on feeding every month, calculate it. Calculate your data or your data and airtime for calls, that's important to you, calculate it. And you can do anticipation for health. You know your health status better than me. You can, okay, how much do you average to spend on health? Me, I've been able to be blessed by good health, so I had in a year can because I don't spend on any healthcare, right? So, but those good just have reserve somewhere for that in case. Then just calculate that and keep. And then, of course, you know your life better. Any other basic transportation, if you have to pay transport to go to work or go to anywhere that's important, calculate it and add it there. Okay? So any important expense that is constant in your life every month and is something you cannot do without, calculate it, total it, and indicate. Please don't say that I cannot hard to do this or that. Calculate and let me
know. So please is Njangi an expense?
Okay, Njangi is not really an expense, but then money is going out. Although it's an asset, it's a cash, it's a current asset, right? Although money is going out from you, but you can add it, but not like you're losing money. Since it's constant, money is going out. And of course, it's part of that could be part of your savings goal to make your 1 million. You can collect the Njangi and you save it in the bank account. And say, okay, it's part of your tools to help you to achieve your 1 million journey, right? Okay. All right. I've started receiving. Okay. Brenda, I've received from you. That's good. Okay. Have it noted out in your notebook as we do the calculation and proceed. Okay. We should run up that exercise 1 minute and 7 keys. Okay. Terence, I got it from you. And when you do that, multiply your expenses by 12 to get your annual expenses. That will be average annual expenses, of course, because sometimes anything can happen. You just have basics, that's your average standard. And just have other amounts, your annual expenses for 2022. And this is, many people have maybe having difficulty to do this because they have never spent time to do this. And that's the first step to wrongly managing your money, actually. If you live life just like that, especially in terms of expenses, and you don't always know exactly on average what you spend on as far as expenses are concerned, then trust me, it's gonna be challenging. Okay. All right. Light bills, water bills, and so on. Okay. All right. Yes, I'm receiving, keep sending. Durans have received from you. Randy have received from you. Okay. Many people are not still getting the number yet. It's understood. Okay.
So please, you said we should multiply by 12 and I
yes,
didn't get the
yes, to get your annual expenses.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, but you don't need to send to me. You can send me if you want, but that's for you. Then Christabella received from you. Melvis have received from you. Okay. Now, is anybody surprised with that, with those expenses? Anybody? Is there anybody who's surprised with the expenses? Okay. All right. But that's very important to pay attention to, because I believe if you want to make your first 1 million, you also need to live an okay life. Let me not say a good life, an okay life. Okay. Don't suffer yourself and unnecessarily. That's why I think it's important that it's part of you working hard, it's part of life. Okay. That's why I don't like people who pay when they're paying bills, they're angry. Like somebody's paying the landlord and they're angry and all of that. No, it's not. It's part of life. You're paying part of the life you're living, right? Good. So these are part of this like important things. Just have the right mindset towards. Okay. Now, the next question that we're working on is the target is that by the last week of December, worst case scenario, that I'm sure many people would, before that they would have made their first 1 million. I'm very sure about that. By the last week of December, the goal is to make your first 1 million. Now, take $1 million francs and divide. How many weeks are there in 2022? You know. How many weeks are there in 2022? 52 weeks, I guess. Right? So, take $1 million divided by 52 weeks, or you can divide it by 12, another one. But let's start with weeks because we're going to come there. So divided by 52, and you're going to have an amount, 19,230. Meaning in a month, 76,000. You have that written down. You have that written down. Okay.
So please come again with the second one.
Do you have it? Do you have it divided? Have you divided 1 million by 2 weeks?
$19,230 francs.
Good. After that, you multiply it just by 4 weeks, so you have the amounts per month, right? That will be 76,000. Do you have it? Okay. Now, if you have that, move again down on your sheet and take, I want us to break this as low as possible so that we are able to get all of these high works. Now, go down somewhere on your sheet and take 1 million plus your basic monthly expense for your annual monthly expense. Take 1 million francs plus your annual monthly expense. You have that. Take and have a total figure.
Not yet though.
So like for you, Tato, take 1 million plus this your amount is for the month, so you need to multiply it by 12 to have your annual expenses. Annual expenses. So take 1 million plus your annual expenses. And when you have your annual expenses, take your monthly expenses, multiply by 12 to get your annual expenses. Then where we are right now, take 1 million francs plus your annual expenses. I'm gonna have a figure. If you have that figure is your worst case financial goal for the year. Meaning that if you just want to be an average person, right? You don't have any big goals of savings to buy land, to buy a car, to buy anything huge, and so on. But we know our personal finances differently. If you want to add that there, okay, fine. You want to save part of the money for that, fine. That's the decision you can add. But again, it therefore means that for you to be able to make your first 1 million comfortably in 2022, you have to make money that can cover the total amount that you have when you add 1 million plus your total annual expenses. If you already have that amount, write to me in the chat box. Let me see. Right, set in the chat box, Ramsey. Okay, good. Terrence, I have received for you. Terrence, your amount is too small. There's a miscalculation somewhere, Terrence, I think. Oh, I'm over-calculated. Let me see. Your annual, your annual expenses, Terrence, should be 1 point something million, right? So, okay, I think it's okay. All right. All right. Nestor, inbox in here on the Zoom chat box as we're doing. Okay, I received for you Mervis, Brenda, Durans, Mispath. Okay, while others are coming in, that is it. Now, that is your overall we can say, financial goal for 2022. Like what average financial goal for the year. Sorry?
Should we send in the amount?
Yeah, send to me inbox. That's what I said.
Okay.
Okay.
So please, I don't know the amount you are sending.
You're sending 1 million plus your annual expenses. Understood?
Yes,
now,
sir.
So it means that based on these calculations, you are ascertaining that for you to live a comfortable life in 2022, a life whereby you will not struggle with rents, with fighting with a landlord and feeding and whatever, and then actually succeeding to save money, that is the amount that you have to make in 2022. That's the amount you have to work hard and make in 2022 to be able to live life the right way and achieve your major financial goal for the year, which is being a millionaire. Cash that is there in your bank account, not like you are ending the year and your account is there and there's money inside, there's cash inside. Simple, right? Okay, now the next step is take that total amount, take that global amount and divide by 12. Step down again on your page. Take that amount, divide by 12. You're going to have how much you have to be making every week. Then divide it again by 52 weeks. No, that's what was every month. When you divide by 12, you get what you're going to make every month. Then you divide by 52 weeks to get how much you have to be making every week. Personally, I like to track my finances on a weekly basis so that I'm not, sometimes when you do it on a monthly basis, you can be lazy. But you know that you have just 7 days to be doing the right thing that can generate you money. You're always on your toes to do it. That's why I like to put it on a weekly basis. Okay. So divide your global amount by 12 to get that amount that you have to make every month. Then divide it by 52 weeks so you get your weekly goal that you have to be making every week. This is just the basics. We're still going to the main part of the work. Okay. If you have your amount that you have to be making every month and every week, just indicate in the chat box that you have it. Let me know. Indicate in the chat box that you have it and raise up your hand and I'll be able to know. Okay, good. Randy has it. Okay, based on the 1 week and the 1 month, who is anybody feeling challenged? Who is feeling challenged or feeling scared a bit? Who is feeling like, is it possible? Anybody? Like, oh my goodness, is it possible? Am I going to make this amount?
No, I'm feeling challenged because I've not been able to do 36,000 in a week.
Okay, that's a new goal for you then. Okay, all right. All right, some people are feeling challenged and scared. That's good, that's good, that's good. Then we're on the right path. Well, not really that you have underestimated your cost. I was just thinking in terms of additions. Maybe you have not done your addition well. But again, you can redo it later to be sure. Terrence. Okay. Good. Yes, feeling challenged then is good. And that's one of the best ways for you to actually scale your financial life. Because you see strong decision making and a strong mindset. It challenges you a lot to be different. Let me show you guys a story, and which I used that story and it affected me positively. Yeah? I was listening to a message by Mensa Otabil, and they said that's one of the things that changed his financial life. He said, since he's in Ghana, he said in Ghana, in the early days, he used to trek to go to a lot of places. Right? He used to trek to go to a lot of places. Then one day he said, look, from today, if I'm not able to enter Keke, like those buses in Ghana, if I'm not able to enter a bus, I'm not going to where I'm supposed to go. He made that decision. Like in Cameroon, you can say, okay, you know what? If I'm not able to enter, because Keke for them is the cheapest form of transportation. right? Like here in Douala, there are these green buses that sometimes go to Lokpom and all of that, and they charge to 200 to 250 and so on. That's the cheapest one. A bike cannot go to Lokpom from Badaberi for that 200, or a taxi can even go there for 200, right? So that's the cheapest form of transportation. So he said that. Then after a while he was in that bus, somebody spat on him, on his face. People were arguing, and then somebody spat on his face, right? And he got angry. And they said, look, from today, I'm never going to enter a bus again. I'll be taking taxis. And in Ghana, taxis are more expensive than here because you get to carry one person, right? And that's what I experienced. I don't know if that's traditional, but that's what I experienced when I'm in Ghana. And so it's more expensive. Taxes are in Ghana, and like even in some places like even Dubai, South Africa, all of that, taxes are considered for very people can afford it. It's up class kind of a certain way because it's expensive. Or Uber, for example. And he's made a point that, you know what, if I'm going anywhere as a pastor, if I cannot pay a taxi, I'm going to trek, or I'm not going. But if I should enter a bus, I am never ever going to enter a bus, right? So, and then as he was telling the story, anytime he made a very strong decision, it's as if his level of hard work increases, and his level, and it's as if his financial life always changed to that level to meet up that level. Then one time, something happened in the taxi. I forgot how he explained that thing. And he got so angry and said, look, if I am not going to hire a private car to take me to go to where I have to go, I am not going to that place. So he started having money that he can hire a nice, good driver who is responsible, from these companies that have private cars that they rent for us and all of that. Good, he got to that level. Then one time something happened, I said, okay, you know what, I'm buying a car. If I don't buy my own car and use my own car, I am not going to anywhere that I have to go. And in less than 2 weeks or so, he bought his car. Now, what I'm just trying to say is the power of decision making, right? And I use that in my life where it's okay. I travel a lot. I don't have my own car, for example. And there was time I said, since 2018, if I'm going anywhere, if I'm going to Yaoundé, I am not using any classic bus. It's either a VIP bus or I'm not going to Yaoundé. I'm not going to anywhere I have to go. So started getting VIP buses. Then it's the same, like if I'm going to somewhere that is just a normal clando, if I'm not paying for 2 seats to be comfortable, I am not going. If I cannot afford that, I am not going, right? And when I made those decisions, it changed a lot in my financial life. And there are some places that I cannot go with a taxi. It's a personal decision. So for me, it's not that. And when I did that, okay, friends started showing up to actually always give me their drivers and the car to take me to where I'm going to. That is important. Sometimes when you make a strong decision, the universe can open a door for you. That's a fact. The law of attraction. But until you make that strong decision, so sometimes I'm going to the airport, I'm going here, I'm going somewhere important. Friends are always available. Oh, okay, use my car and my driver. They're going to drop you off. Or sometimes I'm not available. There's always this private company that have very nice jeeps and cars that they rent and you can use and go do your meetings if you want to and all of that. Okay, I get to use them, right? There are many times I've made a decision to buy a car. Like I've saved money 6 times to buy a car. I ended up buying a car. That's one thing with entrepreneurship. Because when you save money, look at the company, look at the car, you always choose the company over the car, right? So, and all of that. But these decisions that you get to radically make them about certain things in your life, it will be the same like restaurants. There are some places you can stop going to eat. Not because you're proud, but because you're challenging yourself to advance when it comes to how you live your life. There are certain places don't buy anything. Like, for example, I want to challenge something like this year, make up your mind. You're not going to buy from a local store. Go to a supermarket. Go and buy where you are not going to bargain, for example, right? Like I did that, I think, 2018 again. I'm not buying from Santa Lucia, from Carrefour Market, I'm not buying. It's intentional. Buy from a mall. It's going to challenge you. It's going to push you. And it's going to help you to start attracting some things to you, because the law of attraction only start working when there is a level of strong decision making. Okay? So you doing this also is part of strong decision making that you're making about your finances. It's not only the physical calculation, the decision making, which is kind of spiritual too. I know money is spiritual, money is spiritual. And that's why the kind of decisions to make towards money is very critical for you as a person. So there are some of these decisions that I'm challenging you to make this year as we venture next year. Challenge yourself and make these decisions, because it's going to keep you on your toes to know that, look, if you don't do what is right, you don't work hard and you're committed, you will not be able. And as I said, there are two ways to have a balanced financial life as you work hard: live below your means, or maintain your means and increase your income. And I always recommend the second one: maintain your means and focus on increasing your income. Find more ways to make money or let money come into you, or work more hours in your business or whatever and make more money. Okay? Okay. Now we're gonna get questions later. Now that you guys have how much you have to be making on a weekly basis and a monthly basis, the next thing we have now to calculate is to talk about is, what do you have to sell to make money? Very basic question. What do you have to sell as value to make money? Because in all of these calculations, if you have nothing to exchange for money, then you're gonna struggle. Then actually making this 1 million, or that your total monthly or annual income or general income is not possible. Now, I want to challenge you in that your book, write down the things that you are already selling. Just describe it. For example, let me say, like Randy, for example. Okay, Randy has like forex training. He has that to sell to people who want to become forex traders. Trading itself, maybe he's trading forex in the forex market. Okay, write it down. Okay, but anything you have in your hands or you have as a skill that you have been doing and people can give you money, write it down. What do you have to sell to make money? First of all, just describe those things. Describe it. If you can describe it and share with me in the chat box, let me see how valid they are in terms of enabling you to make money. It will be good. Like for me, I know that, okay, you know what? I have consulting services I can sell to businesses. I have coaching services I can sell to individuals. I have courses I can sell, right? I have this. And I'm going to show you an example of how to make. There was a time that I have tested one of those. I picked just one and I said, okay, actually this one, I'm going to make 1 million from this one, and I see how it goes. Like for example, courses. The time I picked some of my courses, I said, okay, you know what? I think it was last year. I'm going to try and market courses and see if this course can give me 1 million francs. I cannot achieve 1 million francs, but I think I did about 700,000 francs in sales in 2 months from the courses. I tested that, right? So you can try to test some of these things and say, okay, how much can you can do that later, much later when you have grown to master your services, okay? And that's one thing when you're making money. You need to master the art of selling your services. But you need to start by establishing what is the exact value you have to sell. Like for Judas who runs a clinic, okay, consultation and healthcare services you have to provide to people in the community. That is it. That is how you make money. The tea that you sell, okay, add it. You're going to add another thing that you think you have tested and people are able to buy, add it. Many of this example could be, okay, we provide what tax consulting services to small and medium-sized enterprises. Okay, it's there, add it. Okay, but be very clear. This is what I have to sell. We also have salaries. Yes, your job, your position, what you do in that company is your value. Okay, right. Let's say you're a marketing director. Okay, marketing and sales services that you provide to the company, you are paid every month. Write it. Do you have a side hustle? Write it. Even it could even be network marketing. Write it there because you're selling the value to people. Okay. But it's important you ascertain clearly, what do you have to sell in 2022? What is the exact value that you will constantly sell in 2022? Okay. Terence says supply agri raw materials to companies. Okay, good. Yes. Who else would like to share? What is your value that you're selling next year? Teaching English language to non-native speakers, selling chair seats, lecturing English language at a state university. Okay, good. Now, the next thing that we need to do now, the next thing that we have to do now, as you guys are doing that, is now you need to divide the global amount that you had earlier. That's your 1 million francs plus your global expenses. You need to take in now, you know how, like many of you have two ways that you make money, right? You know which one is stronger, you know which one is weaker. Now, you need to divide it by percentage. Which part of your value can take 40% of the total global amount you have to make? Like, for example, let me say, if somebody says that they're going to make 5 million, they need 5 million francs in 2022 to be able to live life and save 1 million francs. And Melvin says she's providing tax consulting services and Ohada IFR service, which is a job. Now she cannot divide that. Okay, in a year, the tax consulting service is going to raise me 2 million francs or 3 million francs, while the job is going to raise me part of the money. So you divide responsibilities to the various sources. Like, for example, that's why I like in my businesses, I like to track. See, every business that I run sort out its expenses. I try to make sure that you arrive. When you're able to arrive at that stage, you minimize a lot of headache from yourself. And that's one thing, right? And there's one thing I've done. There's a business that is responsible for paying my rent. There's like me, the person now who owns the businesses. There's a business responsible for paying my data. So I've divided some of these things, and so the business, whether unconsciously or consciously, you can treat your businesses as humans. Yes. So they know that this is your responsibility. So you need to get your ass up and start producing results, right? So, but you can divide that also. So it also helps you to know that, so that you are not working, you're not busy over something that is not giving you anything, any tangible results. Because you can just feel in your mind that this thing can give you money, but it's not really giving you money. It's not really that valuable. But one of the best ways you can really ascertain if that thing that you want to do that's giving money is valuable, give it a task, give it a goal, give it a financial goal. You get the point? What is the monthly financial goal of this thing, this particular thing? What's the monthly financial goal of the other thing? What's the monthly financial goal of this other source of income? Give them goals. So if you have to be making, let's say you have a goal that you have to make at least 50K every month, okay, every week, sorry. Okay, this week like that, 25K, who is bringing 25K? Who is doing this? Okay, do that. Now, and again, I want to note something that I also learned in the process. Sometimes you will not achieve your weekly goals. But hear this, you may not achieve your weekly financial goals, but if you have taken an action, you have taken action that week that can lead to the achievement of that goal, and you have not achieved the goal, when it comes to money, there's something called compounding efforts. Let's say, for example, Mavis can do advertisement every week to get a consulting job, but she doesn't get it. But if she meets her goal of marketing, it's possible that next week she can, instead of getting just one client, she can get 3 clients. And the 3 clients can cover up for how much she did not make for last week, even the previous week. You get the point? So there's also the room for compounding effort. It's the same like Durance can do a lot of marketing for her detox tea. She markets a lot, nobody buys that week. But there's a way that compounding effort can produce more results next week. Instead of selling just 5 packages, you can sell like 15. So one thing about this is also, don't just track your result. The most important thing I'll be tracking in this journey are your efforts. Because I know, I have seen where effort can compound and you produce 1 million francs in a day. Meanwhile, for the last 3 weeks, you did not produce nothing. Nothing came in. So I'm going to pay a lot of attention on your action, your effort, because that is where the magic happens. Because you can compound your efforts and the results happen a month later. Yeah, it's possible. But I'm not saying that you should be lazy and waiting for that month. No, do your part every day. I'm going to give you weekly goals. So for the next 1 year, for 52 weeks, I'm tracking you for 52 weeks every day, focusing a lot on effort and result. Effort and result. Okay, now that we have that amount, and we are ascertaining what you have to sell to do that. What you have to sell for you to make money. Now, the next question is, how much or how many of those services do you have to sell every week to achieve your weekly financial goal? How many of those services do you have to sell every month to achieve your financial goal? You need to ascertain that. And this is where the whole difference now happens. How many of those services do you have to sell every week for you to achieve your financial goal? So let's say, for example, let's take cleaning services for Nestor. So Nestor says, okay, you know what? For me to be able to have my weekly financial goal, I need to make sure that I clean at least 3 houses, with each house costing a minimum of 15,000 francs to clean, for example. That's worst case scenario. Or let's say Brenda says she needs to sell frozen right? She now says, you know what? For me to achieve my weekly financial goal, I need to sell 10 or 5 parcel units of frozen to 5 women or 5 households. You guys get the concept? So, like for those that are doing training, like let's say Randy doing forex training. Okay, Randy says, okay, you know what? I need to make sure that I have 2 students I am training every week for me to be able to make my financial goal. So I want us to focus on that. So let's determine how many people do you have to serve weekly to meet their financial goal for the week? How many people do you have to serve monthly to make your financial goal for the month? You have that calculation sheet in the chat box. And make sure you have it on your paper. Have it.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Yes, I have a question.
yes, go ahead.
Yeah, with this goal, are we to just we're just looking at the exact amount, right? Like maybe the cost of the training will just cover the exact amount we need for the week.
I don't understand it.
I mean, for this question,
Yeah,
my financial goal for the week,
yeah.
am I to consider like the amount from the training that will just cover the amount for the week, like exact? Like if one student can cover the amount for the week, that is
Yes,
okay.
you're determining your worst case scenario. Okay, for you have to be doing this to make this every week.
Oh, okay.
I was just
Okay.
using a training as an example, but since you have more service that you're providing, you can decide and divide that. Okay, now okay, based on the things on the 5 things that you do, according to your calculation, these 5 things should be able to raise you minimum 50K every week.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay, I hope you have ascertained that. You have ascertained that for you to be able to comfortably make, let's say, for example, 100,000 francs every week. You have ascertained that you need to be doing this and this. You need to make sure that you are serving, you are delivering value to this number of people. So now you are entering a deal, you are entering an agreement, a covenant that every week, worst case scenario, you have to take actions every week to make sure that you are delivering value for exchange of money to this number of people. So if you are ending the week and you have not delivered value to this number of people, if you are ending the month, I'm adding month because it's possible that you can do week one for that month and you're able to deliver the value, but you have done the right effort. We're going to come to the right effort I'm talking about. You can transfer that hard work to week two, but if a whole month is ending and you have not met up your goal of exchanging value for money to the right number of people, something is wrong. You are already falling behind your financial goal, I'm telling you. Yes, there's a possibility that the effort can compound and bring results in the second month or the third month or whatever month that you're in, but you need to make sure that you are taking the right actions and getting the right results. Now, we have just ascertained the exact number of people, but research also shows that, for example, research also shows that for Melvis, for example, to provide consulting services, tax consulting services to one SME or to two SMEs a month or to three SMEs a month, she will need to do marketing and reach at least maybe 15 to 20 people with her services when it comes to proper marketing. Okay? So it means that you're going to have a goal of worst case scenario marketing. Because, like I always say, for example, if you want to sell 100 things, you have to challenge yourself and do marketing and let 1,000 people see it. So if you have to sell 4 things or 10 things in a month, you have to challenge yourself and make sure that you are doing the right marketing and targeting the right number of people. And you have to always multiply the number you have to make as sales by at least 10 to sell to the people. Like I was talking to one lady, she was complaining, oh, business is not going and all of that. I asked her a simple question. Can you categorically tell me that since you started this business, 2,000 people have heard? I mean, see that direct hearing from you that you do this business. Can you say that? That's why she was looking at me. I said, no. You can, the effort of marketing, you cannot separate the effort of marketing in making sales that will help you achieve your financial goal. And marketing is hard work. So the goal I'm giving you on and this is where the effort of compounding can happen now and produce results. So for you to make the sale, let's say Mispa has to make 36,000 francs every week, and she has to sell 36 packs. And let's assume that this 36 packs is 36 people every week. This is worst case scenario sale. It therefore means that for her to achieve this goal of selling 36 packs, her hard work towards marketing needs to be very serious. So worst case scenario every week, she has to make sure that she is presenting this particular product to at least 360 people and above. That's her effort. So before the week runs out, you need to guarantee that you have done proper marketing. You have done proper marketing, that you have done one-on-one promotion, you have done WhatsApp group marketing, you have done Facebook marketing, Facebook group marketing, and you can guarantee that 360 people have heard and listened and know that you sell these chair sets And this is what child seeds can do to them if they buy from you. You're selling the value and the product at the same time.
No, this is hard.
You get the point? Because
Yes, though.
without that, see, this is the magic of every multi-billionaire that you admire. If Jeff Bezos, the way it is today, they have the steady goal of what they have to achieve every week as a company. More billions of sales that they have set, and you see them working day and night. That's why there's some businesses that sometimes they work 24 hours, because the only way that they can meet up their goal, their sales goals for the week or for the month, is for them to sell round the clock. It's for them to market round the clock. So this is the hard work that millionaires don't show you. They don't reveal it to you. And if you take away this effort part of this marketing effort part and making sure that you are meeting the right target every week consistently and every month consistently, you forget about making that 1 million and seamlessly financing your basic living throughout the year. Are we there? So every week that we have this, in the WhatsApp group, you will have to submit in the WhatsApp group your efforts for the week. Now, if you submit it and give line numbers to please me, that is you're working against yourself. It's not going to affect me in any way, right? But I need you to be as honest as possible. But remember here, see, I'm not asked, see, let me give you, I do this for myself. Sometimes I don't bother about the final amount. I focus on, have I done the marketing effort? That's where the magic happens. Like for myself, example, so that you don't forget, have I really made sales of 3,000 francs a week? No, but the real magic is, have 360 people heard the right way? Because you can make noise in the name of marketing. That's not marketing. Have 360 people heard the right way that I have child seeds for sale? That should be a major preoccupation. Then the ripple effects are happening. Is that saying, oh, it affects the sales, it's not affecting your monthly expenses, your monthly savings, and all of that. Okay? Now, when that is done, the next goal now is your savings goal. Your savings goal. And your savings goal, there's no stress about this. Because remember that the money you're making weekly and monthly already include your basic living. But part of that money is for you to save your 1 million francs. Understood? So every you can do it every week even, or every month. You remove the sales that you have made. Remove immediately money for your 1 million savings and go save it. Remove immediately. And it's always recommended. When I was making my first 1 million goal, I created, that was when I created my, I think the UBA account. I have a couple of accounts. It's free, you can have a couple of accounts in different accounts if you want to, you can manage them, okay? I created a new account for that purpose, for that 1 million goal. That was 15, so on. And I created that. And the goal was clear. That account was to make 1 million. Simple. Nothing else attached to that account. So you can create an account. For some of you, you have already created an account with our business, so that I'm able to monitor you, which it makes accountability easier. So if you want to do that, you can let me know after this. Like some of you already have accounts with also, it means that I'm tracking you. I'll be tracking you every week, every month as you save into the account, so that I hold you accountable. So if you are not saving, I know you are not saving, and I can remind you, why have you not saving? Because sometimes saving needs accountability. I told my mentor when I wanted to do my first 1 million, I told him, he always remind me, oh, did you actually save? Did you save? How much did you save? And all of that. It kept me on my toes. Okay. So you can also do that. I will recommend a different account. Don't keep money where you can easily access that particular goal. Don't keep it in mobile money. No. Don't keep it in the account you're already used to. No. Keep it in an account that you will need to stress to withdraw it. Okay. So if you want us to work with you to hold you accountable, let me know after this. We can talk about it, and you can use that account strictly for your savings. It's for your savings goal for 2022, and the goal is to become a millionaire. Simple. Okay? Good. Again, as I said, at the end of the week, and you have your cash sales or whatever you have done, if part of you making your 1 million francs is from your salary, immediately get your salary, discipline yourself and remove it and save immediately. If you're a typical business person, immediately is the time. If you have made your sales, calculated sales, it could be Saturday evening, it could be Sunday evening. Remove your savings goal part and save it. The rest is for your basic living or to finance your living. Now, that is the process. I took us from the beginning right to where we are right now. The money game is a numbers game. If you get your numbers right in business, in your money game, you get your decision making right, and you get your commitment to hard work right. You get these three things right, and of course the fourth thing, you are very clear about the value you have to sell. You get these four things right, you always achieve your financial goal. I'm telling you. Even if you want to make your first 10 million, you get the point? If you want to make your first 10 million, one of my mentees, his goal this year was to make his first 10 million francs, and he has done it. If you clearly establish the value right in your money game, you exactly notice the value you have to sell and to who you have to sell it. Number two, you get the numbers right. Like all these calculations we have done, you get the numbers right. And you come down to a weekly goal. Okay, worst case scenario, I have to make this amount every week, which will enable me to finance my living and do my savings at no stress. You get the numbers right. The third thing is decision making. You make a very clear decision. Procrastination will not destroy your finances. Procrastination can destroy your finances if you're not careful. And that's why decision making is very important. You make a very clear decision of what you will stop doing and what you will start doing, and nothing derails you from that. Okay? And then the next thing is the commitment of hard work. You cannot take away hard work from the money game. Never. For smart work to work, hard work needs to work. Okay? So these four things are critical for you to get all of them right, for you to get your money game right. More money doesn't solve the money problem. It is the right knowledge that solves the money problem. And that's why we're having all of this. Okay? All right. So when we do this, trust me, we're going to get it right. Again, as I said, we're going to be having a lot of these Zoom sessions to get us to keep reviving us and get us on board. But again, please, when it comes to your saving goals, one thing I like to request is you need to submit a picture of your bank statement or bank book. You're going to decide if you're going to do that every week and send to me. Just a snapshot on WhatsApp is enough. You send so that I see, or you can do it at the end of the month. But I want to get updates of that action is happening. I want to get updates, standard, consistent updates. When I don't get updates, when you're falling behind, that's how you'll be leaving the group gradually, and you go and I'm not there to doing headache stuff. I'm working with those who are committed to make this work. Okay? And again, I'm challenging you. When you fall behind your goal, don't give up. If your goal this week is to save 10,000 francs and you have made 8,000 francs, save it first and send. You get the point? But remember that I'm respecting the place of compounding effort. I'm believing that, oh, yes, if Judas would only say 14K, 30K this week, okay, but I'm believing that she did the right effort last week, and those efforts are going to compound. Instead of her making maybe just 50,000 francs next week, she can make 200,000 francs. That's the magic of compounding efforts. So as I was telling you guys, no matter what happens, no matter how much you feel down that you're not getting the result, check your effort. Are you putting in the right effort? Because those efforts always pay off. Like I was just listening yesterday, there's some things that I did but last year that it paid off but this year. That's the magic about taking the right actions. But when you take consistent actions, you increase the frequency of success happening. Okay, so that's the follow-up action. Every week, I would like you to share the effort that you have taken in the group. No, don't do something long. So you can even share like 1-2 minutes, you're done. Like for example, Randy can just say, okay, you know what? I did one-on-one marketing of my Forex training program to 5 people to sign up. Simple as that, right? Miss Parker say, okay, you know what? I did marketing of the share seat this week to 300 people or this 400 people, and I sold this very, very quickly. None of a long stuff. Focus on the numbers. Just explain the numbers. That's the most important thing. So I'm able to track, okay, these efforts are happening, these are the results happening, and so on. And again, as I said, we're going to have a few Zoom sessions because I noticed that you are taking the right effort and you're not putting the right results. There could be something that you're not doing right. We can do a quick Zoom session. Okay, set it out. Okay, this is going wrong. This one is not being done right. Maybe it is a location issue. We just diagnose the whole stuff and make sure that you're not wasting your efforts the right way, wasting the right effort in the wrong direction. Okay, I believe this worked. This worked last year with some people, and now this year those guys have their one has a goal of 3 million francs to save, one has a goal of 5 million francs, another has a goal of 7 million francs to save in 2022. I'm so excited about that. They are the ones that are doing that. I'm not even the one who recommended that. They're the ones doing that for them. It's a self-made decision that they are doing. Okay. All right. So that is the formula. Please create time and go back and review all of that, okay? And take concrete actions that you have to make them happen. Review from the beginning right to the end of the calculation that we have done. Make sure you get your numbers right, you're convicted about them, and you're committed to it. Make the decision, be willing to make the hard work work. And trust me, you're going to see a lot of changes in your finances come from January, okay? Yes, questions? Yes, Nestor.
Yeah, so I just want to ask quickly, is investment a compounding effort?
Yes, if it's going to amount, is it going to come out this year? Are you investing with a plan to get the dividends before the end of this year or by the end of this year?
Yeah, it's a current investment. If profits comes in as the year goes.
Okay, good. Yes, then it is.
Okay, so thank you.
Awesome. Yes, another question?
But I have a question, but
Yeah.
it's more, it's really not so attached to what you shared, but it's still it's still concerning money.
Okay.
Yeah, with let me say if you're to receive, let's say 80,000 francs, is it okay to pay? Let me say if somebody is to pay if the amount you're to receive is 80,000, is it okay to give 20%? Let me say to a freelancer. Am I cheating myself? Let me say if I'm to pay someone 20% of 80,000.
When you're paying 20% to somebody who made the sales for you.
Yes, who make
Yeah, again, money is a numbers game. Do you prefer to make do you prefer to spend 1 month and make sales of only 40,000 francs because you want to keep all the money to yourself, or do you prefer to pay freelancers and they make a total sales of 200,000 francs and you give them 40,000 francs and keep 160,000 francs? You get the concept? So
Yes,
the more people you have to sell your value, the more money you're able to make. And of course, you are creating impact because you're helping somebody get employment or part-time employment.
that's true.
Yeah, so that's why company like salespeople. The more salespeople they have, the more money they make.
It's
Okay.
true. It's clear though.
Good. Ramsey.
Yeah, so thank you for what you shared. I I have two main questions.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, when it comes to mine, my services is more monthly basis focus. Like if I want to do a training, like the lowest would take like a month,
Yes.
like for the cryptocurrencies, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And reducing that to a weekly basis, I don't know how to do that.
Yes, well, trading is just part of your services, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. So what do you have other services that you can track your weekly produce, your weekly results? But again, you can do that. You can track your final results every month, but the efforts, you can break down your efforts to weekly. Right? Like for example, okay, for you to get
yes,
every for 1 month.
Like the second case now, like I manage an account of $800 that I trade. There, I put a goal that perhaps every month I want to be compounding like a 15% or so. That is just a goal. Yeah, and that account I don't withdraw like every week or every month. I just let it. I try compounding and so on. So I know when it comes to investments like that, it goes up and down the equity curve and all of that. There's a way of management. So it's not really that static that I can really say, okay, every month I'm going to make like 100K or 200 and so on. It might skyrocket and sometimes you have a drawdown and so on.
Good.
So
but again, yes, but again, in every business, there are efforts that when you put them into place, right, consistently, you can always get worst case scenario results. You understand? So because 30 days is a lot of time for you to anticipate and influence a lot of results in business. You get the concept? So again, yes, you can calculate and measure your financial result at the end of the month. But again, the result is an outcome of effort. So we are able to break down, like for example, you can say, okay, you know what, every week you'll be trading for at least 4 hours every day. So every week you take it times 7. You understand? Now that's effort. And that effort has some level of result you can produce. Same for training. Because okay, you know what, every day you're going to do marketing of your forex training every day with a target of getting 10, 15, 50, 25 people. You understand? Because you need this effort to be able to produce your minimum financial goals for the month. And if it's like for your trading, you can take the right efforts on a daily basis, which can lead to you tracking your weekly results, which can produce the result that you need and you save, and before the trading is manifested at the end of the month, and other things are able to produce the results.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So, but again, make sure that you are able to break down efforts clearly to weekly efforts that are significant, they're tangible, you can clearly measure it and can clearly produce the results that you want.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Tato, go ahead. Tato, are you there?
Okay, good morning, Doc. Good morning to everyone.
Morning.
I still do have a serious problem even to put together my expenses. So, but what I want to find out is, now if you have like a startup that you are still putting money in, that still requires, demands a lot, that you maybe need to add money to your capital, you are looking to employ people to help you do the work like sales, and then people working at the farm and all of that. So please, where does all of this fall? Because while trying to put money into the business, how do you then track your finances, maybe per weekly or monthly? How do you even stay?
Okay. Yes, that is possible. But again, as I was saying, this is different from people actually trying to build a startup, right? But if you are building a startup and the startup is able to make money, even me and my business is startups, but we're able to make money, right? That's different. But if you're still in that stage, then this is not really for you. You understand? But if you are in a stage whereby you can reinvest into the business and still be able to save and fund your business. Can your business fund your basic living? Can your business be able to make money and you save and still reinvest back into the business or part back into the business? You understand? So it's different when the startup is still very young and you're still trying to, everything is trying to go, and it's not even able to survive independently of its own. And you still need to put in more money back into, you have not even break even. This cannot work with somebody who has not break even. Have you break even?
No, does no.
Good. That's why I was saying that it's good for people that have been in business for at least 1 year and they are making some sales already. So your main goal should be to break even, not to talking about you making profit and saving $1 million francs. You understand? Your main goal should be for you to break even, not to target $1 million francs. Yes. Because there are many things that you have not gotten right in your business. Basically, from the way you place where you are, your business model is not yet perfect. You are not yet able to attain so many things. So your focus should be on that. Do you have a perfect business model? Is it improving? Are you getting more clients? Are you able to break even and cover costs and basic costs before you start talking about making profits? Understood? So that should be your focus for now. That should be your focus on now. You're perfecting the business model. You're getting more clients. You're penetrating the market, and you're tracking your finances to see the day when you break even, you can start making profit. You can start talking of you saving your first 1 million and so on.
Okay.
Because if I'm asking if you are putting that goal on your neck now to say your first 1 million is going to be suicide, you're going to be depressed unnecessarily. Because you are not there yet. You're not there where you're talking about. You're not making profit after all. So you're going to save from what as the business is concerned? But this for people that have already break even, they already have a system in place per se, and they can be they're tracking, they're focused on tracking profit. Understood?
Okay, Doc. So, please, Doc, can I just add up something?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So this business I'm talking about is not the only main source of income I have. Besides, it's not a source of income yet since I'm not getting even. For example, I'm a civil servant. So basically, what I do is I get all my salary. I try to fit into the business. I get other side jobs like I job plans. I do other things. Now, my problem is basically everything I get, I'm trying to fit it into this business to keep start and break even. So it's not like I'm all depending on that. So what I really want to know is, do I limit what I put into the business, try to keep something so that I can make up savings, or do I just focus on getting this business?
Yeah, Nido was really breaking. But if you have other sources of income that can finance your living and all of that, good. Then you can still use that and target the 1 million saving goal. Because this is focused on any other thing that you can do that makes money is welcome here. It's not just from your business. Okay? That I always strongly encourage side hustles. Any other thing that you can make from any other source that is legit, legal, and ethical, and you do it as your skill, add it to all of this. Which, because the more you structure your side hustles, the more you experience financial freedom. You understand? So whatever that you can do attached to your business and other things that bring income to you, yes, use it to that, add it to all these things I've done as calculations, and aim for the 1 million goal. Clear?
Clear, though. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, Brenda is talking about I sell farm produce some in 3 months. Okay, yeah, and this is where the challenge can be for people like your case. Because sometimes you are forced not to, when the produce are available, you are forced to do a lot of massive marketing so that you can cover the months you are not making sales. That's one challenge this kind of business. And that's always challenge when you have this kind of business, you need to find another product that you can sell under the business that is consistent. Like we're doing one of our business that we used to only make money when we have something special to launch. When we don't have anything special to launch, the money is not coming in for that business. But this year I have created products and things that we can sell on a daily basis. So that we're not always waiting when we have the special training before we make money. So that we have training that run for 3 months. So within that 3 months, money is not coming in again. So I said, okay, we have to stop that, right? So when you do this kind of model, it means that when you have the final produce, you have to sell so hard. Make sure you sell, you have to give a huge target to sell, and they can use that particular period and cover the cost and cover the periods that you are not productive or making sales. One of the best ways that you can do that is, can you find another way that can bring consistent income, consistent monthly income into the business before you're waiting for the farm produce? I would strongly recommend that. Okay, so that you're not dependent just on after 3 months or whenever you have produce to sell. Can you have something? Can you have what is part of your value chain that you can sell on consistently? Can you sell seeds? Can you sell equipments? Can you sell pesticide, insecticide, whatever, all of those things you guys have that can guarantee consistent income into the business before you're waiting for your main source of income, which is the produce that you sell, which can be after 3 months, after 2 months, or after whatever time that you have. Okay. And if you have a business like that, I advise to a business, you have to make money based on a particular period. You need to find a way in the value chain and create a model that can bring you money weekly or daily if possible, or consistently every month. It's very important for your sanity and for the business itself. For the business itself, very important. Okay, people, this class was supposed to end at 5, but I'm happy the chit chat has led to almost 5:20. Okay, so plan yourself. All of this journey starts on the let's say the second. The first you'll be eating live on the first, Abby. Okay, so on the second, no, third is Monday. Monday, third, we get to work. You start working and start tracking you from there on that week till the 52nd week on December. Remember, I'm not running after anybody. Oh yeah, I am not running after anybody. I'll be in the group making sure that I do follow up, but you have to be proactive. You have to be driven. You have to be dedicated. It is not going to come cheaply. No millionaire makes it cheaply. Nobody. It's going to stress you. It's going to push you. It's going to take you further from your comfort zone. So don't expect that you're not going to have it cheaply. The more money you want to make, the more sacrifice you're going to make in terms of sacrificing your comfort, sacrificing just being average. You're going to be a peak performer for you to make this happen. And again, remember, the magic is in the dedicated right efforts. That's where it all comes down to. Dedicated right efforts in marketing and the numbers. When you have that right, the ripple effects to the money, to the covering any expenses and sales and savings naturally happens. So in all that you're doing, make sure that you're committing yourself, you're making a strong decision to consistently put in dedicated effort weekly, daily, for you to get the right result. And when you do it right, it has happened over and over and over with different people. When you do it right, you always get your money right. You always get it right. Okay? So go relax on that, redo your calculations, redo your commitments, enter the year with a fresh financial goal. And trust me, when you get this year right, that is the big step to your financial freedom. I don't know what that happened, as I was saying earlier. For anybody, when you have succeeded to make your first $1 million as cash, it's as if you have broken one big spell, and I think all the monies are following you. And it becomes so easy to make more millions year in, year out. It becomes so easy for you to do that. I think it happened to my clients, happened to many people I've worked with, it happened to me. The stress of you making you can quickly always make $1 million like in a few months. Because one thing is that you have mastered the process of making $1 million. You have gone through the experience of making $1 million, and it becomes easier for you to replicate that experience, even unconsciously, even unconscious actions. You start doing things unconsciously that just produce good results for you and for your business and your finances. Okay, so let's get it done. Let's get it done this year, this month, even before 6 months, or you can be able to achieve that. It's very possible. That's one thing dedicated compound effort can do to your business. All right, people. I hope this was worth it. Did you find some value? Indicate in the chat box. Let me see. Was it valuable to you? Do you think this is important and it's something you're going to do? All right, people. Thank you for confirming that it was valuable. So, and yes, more that's one thing, Terence. When it becomes more explicit to you, you take up the challenge. You know the challenge now. You're no longer living your financial life on guesswork. You don't know exactly this is your goal. This is your challenge. This is a financial challenge. If you're not meeting up, you are not meeting up. You are falling behind. Right? If you're not meeting up, you're falling behind. As simple as that. The same for me. Like when I'm meeting up now, I'm falling behind. And it becomes different when, for those who have like for example, we are supposed to travel and go somewhere out of the country, and you have to add your flight tickets to it, for example, right? So a lot of things, but it challenges you. And trust me, as I said, decision making and challenge is part of the money game. When you're challenged like this and you make a strong decision, this is part of your financial deliverance. I'm telling you. It happened to me, and I wish there was a way I could explain my experience better. And it has happened to many people who have come for working one-on-one, working with them. And when they get it right, when they get to the right mindset, the right decision making, they get to the right commitment to hard work, the value is very clear, and they have a clear pathway, and they set out to it. Trust me, you see them produce results in few months. Like one of the people she made her first million in 5 months last year. She was on fire, a lady even. She was on fire, she was burning. She got the vision, she got her pathway, and she set out and she was making results. Okay? And I believe we can make this happen here. All right, people, let's get to work. Have a great day ahead. Cheers.